Okay, so I wanted to do a video on this. This is a different type of video I am reacting to. But people keep talking about it. And people keep talking about his channel, so I figure, why not do a reaction? Here we go.
Pandering to black women to now pandering to black men. And that is due to several comments actually that I have received from black women. And I just want to clarify a few things. First, going to read this comment to you. So this is on my video that I posted yesterday. I'm going on the offensive.
I don't understand. Before we talk about anything, why does anyone have to fucking pander to people? Why not just be, dang it? Just be. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you think is what you think. If people don't like it, they could turn off the fucking video. If they like it, then they don't have to turn off the video. End of story.
The title of the video. And Glam Girl XX Maya says, with regards to your message, it comes across as wishy-washy and not actually holding black males fully accountable. You focus too much on quote-unquote not all, so as in not all black males. However, when black males are disparaging black women or white men, you don't hear them saying not all. So you come across like you are pandering and not wanting to upset black males. You have
To me, continue. I'm sorry, I don't even want to talk about that. If I can't comment enough on this video is probably not going to be viewed by anyone on my channel. But let's go.
to pick a side. Stay firm and create meaningful content. These 3-minute videos are just not cutting it. Well, I'm going to read my entire response to this lady, and then I'm going to add some more comments. So, here goes. If I don't include saying, quote, not all black males, unquote, then that can be interpreted as saying I am talking about all black males, and that simply isn't factual. So responding to the sentence of Glam Girls, you have to pick a side, stay firm, and create meaningful content. Responding to that, I say,
The whole thing about picking a fucking side is people talking about the gender war. That's what they're saying when they say pick a side. Hell, no one has to pick a side. Picking a side is fake. Picking a side is basically saying I'm gonna stay by this side whether I agree with it or not. That means you are fucking fake. You're fucking fake. All you're doing is trying to stand by one side so they can like you more, basically. But it's not actually sharing your true opinion. And if you're not going to show your true opinion, you might as well just get off the platform, get off of YouTube, turn the video off, and let whoever else had that opinion that you were trying to express and spew out to people, let them speak it. Because you're not even saying your own true feelings. You're just picking a side, taking a couple opinions you agree with, taking the other ones that you don't agree with, and then just trying to basically create the whole gender war bullshit. Now continue.
picking sides is why parts of your community are in shambles. If that statement offends you, then perhaps, according to your narrative, I have to say, quote, picking sides is why your community is in shambles, unquote. Okay.
See. To me, the whole gender wars situation, picking a side and things of that nature, to me, the way I see it is this. I see it like, when you split things up like this, you're only making yourself look badly anyway in the first place, which makes you look bad. Okay, you want to make black men look bad, sweetie, you're making yourself look bad. You want to basically throw everybody under the bus, but the problem is, you're actually throwing yourself under the bus too. You're holding black men under that bus as the bus basically tears you and the black man up. That's just my perspective on that whole perspective, on what he's saying there, and I don't even want to get too in deep with that.
Case in point. The reason that I don't pick sides is because it wouldn't be based on facts. The facts are that not all black males demonize black women. So why would I say something that isn't factual? People like you are part of.
Truly. They really don't. You see plenty of people who don't demonize either side. You see plenty of black women who don't demonize black men, and you see plenty of black men who don't demonize black women, you know? It happens both ways, but there's just people who are hurt, and they're hurt black men, and they're hurt black women, and, so they go at each other all the time because they are hurt people. And, hurt people want to hurt people, as they say. Go ahead.
Problem. You see the dusty types not saying, quote, not all black women, unquote, but you don't see the non-dusty types, i.e. good black men, who love black women and don't say negative things about them. I do think those non-dusty males could speak up and let themselves be known, but it simply isn't their fight. So you can't blame.
I honestly think on that idea, it is kind of our fight, but I think that actually applies to when you say dusty. I really think you mean messed up black people on both sides, and honestly, that applies to black men and black women. And oftentimes, people try to create this image that black people are a part of this image. And, I think many black women who think that all black men are messed up come from those type of circles that think of black people as basically messed up. And they blame it all on the black men because this is the level and the level of vibration that they work at, basically. They don't really understand much more than that, and so then they basically blame black men for being of low quality. And see, black men do the same thing in those type of circles, basically. The problem is black people need to understand that other black people who don't fit into that category and that type of description, they need to actually be like, the identity of blackness is not a connotation, but people keep making it like into some kind of connotation. And so then you have black men and black women associating the opposite sex with the negative forces of black men and black women, basically. Lower classes, basically, so to speak. Continue.
Blame them either. As an analogy, I'll take child labor. You and I both likely have bought products in the past made or made partly by child labor. But since we are not aware of it, it's not our fight. The same goes for good black men aren't aware of the dusty ones. I actually, and by the way, I mean that there are.
No, I think they are aware of them, honestly. In a lot of cases, a lot of normal black men are scared of black men who are not all that good of black men in many different facets. This is why many bad black men are a danger to the normal black men, basically. They're the ones who actually kill black men the most often. So like I said, a lot of black men are kind of scared of those black men because those type of black men tend to be volatile. But that's not just specific to black men. There's black women who are volatile like that too. The only thing is male and female are different. So basically, crimes committed and all that kinds of issues that we have with black Americans, many of the time you'll see more problems acted out among the male sex. This isn't just black people, though. This applies to every race of people at that level. It's just, I I'm not going to get into that issue, actually. It's a little bit of a sticky issue. But my point is, it's going to be a difference in gender and expression. So I do think that black men who are not bad black men and who are actually good black men sometimes have a fear against the bad black men, basically, and they feel like they can't dictate how black men are actually not the bad image that some black men put forth because those black men bully the other good black men, basically, you know. But this can be said also for black women of the same character, basically, with good black men. I mean, good black women. So, continue.
Are definitely good black men out there who are, but they aren't speaking out. So I'm not saying that that's all. You guys have to stop holding me accountable for either not saying something, omitting for the sake of brevity, or taking my words out of context. Well, you don't actually have to stop doing that, but I'm not going to constantly respond to these things. I just want to clarify something on the record so I can refer black men who say that I bash all black men to this video as well. So the same goes for good black men who aren't aware of the dusty ones. I actually have some black men in here who are aware of the dusty ones, and they are supporting this message. If I do as you say, then I would include them as well by not saying, quote, not all black males, unquote. And that in turn will worsen the situation, not better it. That's why I say that you're part of the problem. You exacerbate the issues and encourage others like me to follow in your footsteps. Is your daddy a dusty black male? What about your brother or brothers, nephew or nephews, friend or friends? What about...
And that's what I'm talking about when I say, when people condemn the black men as a whole, what does that mean? It means that you are raised by someone who was a degenerate black man. It means that your brothers were degenerate men. It means that if you have any sons, they are degenerate boys and possibly men. What does that define you as, especially when it comes to your brother and your father and the children you raise? Basically, that you live within the dysfunction yourself. It says everything negative about yourself when you condemn black men like that. Just saying. It's not a good look, it really isn't. And he's kind of getting to that. As much as I don't like him talking about it, he is getting to a point.
Black male relatives, co-workers, all dusty? What you suggest is me negatively generalizing all black males, but that's not how I roll. Instead of promptly hitting that reply link, why don't you think about your point of view for a moment?
Okay, I don't want to get to the generalizing thing, but that is a major point, and I don't want to get to why it is. Okay, considering this is a white person, why do you want a white person to generalize black people of either gender? That's all I'm saying. Continue.
No sensible, loving people want war, but that's exactly what you're inciting with your statement. And that's the totality of my comment to Glam Girl XX Maya. I have a long-time viewer. I'm just going to use her as an example, but I could use other people as example or other women as example. There's nothing, it's a special lady, but there's nothing special about her in the sense that I'm using her as an example. She's just the first that came to mind. So this lady's name is Wanda, and she's subscribed to both my channels. She's married to a black man. I've seen them. If I would say either all black men or I would exclude not all black men, then what I say can be interpreted as all black men, especially the first one where I actually say it. If I say all black men. Now, I know that you're not asking me to say all black men, but I know that you are asking me to say or to omit rather, not all black men. And I'm not going to do that. I might do it for brevity's sake, or I might just forget it in some videos. But it just goes to show that I have to say it. Look, I may have generalized black women in the past, but it's positive generalizations. I never negatively generalize a person. I think that's wrong. And if you guys really want to, well, maybe you don't want the.
That's the thing. Also, to me, like I said, you don't want, I'm just saying, you just don't want a white person generalizing people based off of race. It's never a good recipe for the situation. It just isn't. If you have a certain perspective towards black men, keep it to yourself and have that opinion on them. You can move accordingly in your own personal life. Why do you have to go online and talk to white people about this and try to actually say that you need to generalize them too? They're not going to generalize it the way you want to generalize it. I don't even understand how you generalize it, and I am black. I'm a black woman who's not even attracted to black men. Not that that matters, but I mean, I'm I guess one of those women in some capacity in this sector, and I still don't understand why you would demand other people generalize black men. I understand you can come up with your own perception of black men, but I don't understand why it matters what another thinks of black men. Are you concerned he's gonna date black men? Are you warning him about black men? What are you doing? Why is his opinion on black men a big issue? I understand you guys try to do this with black women, you try to do it with mixed women, you try to do it with white women. I understand that. Because your issue is many of the time when we're dealing with the mixed women and the white women, you don't want them to choose black men because you have some preoccupation with their relationships. With black women, and many of you guys talk about black femicide, and you aren't really happy with basically a lot of black women choosing black men. I personally couldn't give a rat's ass. If someone wants to choose black men, go ahead. Just do it properly. Don't end up in a body bag. Don't end up cheated on. End up with some type of STDs. I say this for every race, though. You don't want to end up with STDs by a Hispanic man, a white man, an Asian man, a black man. You don't want to end up in a body bag because of a black man, a white man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man, and so forth. You don't want to end up in a bad situation. Make good choices, vet properly, and depending on who you are attracted to, go about finding who is the right one of the people that you're attracted to. If you're only attracted to black men, I don't think you should just change course and try and find white men attractive. That's not right. That's not right at all. Be true to what you like. You know what I mean? Same thing with people who are attracted to white men. We shouldn't change course because, we're attracted to white men or whatever, and some people would prefer us to be with black men. So that's just my perspective on that. Continue.
Maybe a lot of you women out there may agree with this.
But all in all, I just don't get why people want this guy to generalize black men, or what his opinion on black men really matters. Why does it matter what he thinks of black men? Why does it even matter what he thinks of black women, for that matter? Are you trying to date him? I mean, I don't really get it. I don't get what his opinion matters. Not to knock at his channel or anything. I've watched his videos before. I've watched his videos twice before. One time I was really uncomfortable. The other time I think I watched, and I was only uncomfortable at the end of his video. But in the beginning I didn't really see any problem with it. Some of the things he says I don't have an issue with, but it's just the topics being brought up with a white person is a little like, why is it brought up? Like, why are they talking about this kind of thing? But I just don't get why specifically someone would ask that of this content creator and things of that nature. Continue, though.
Lady, and you say, well, black men or black males can be fixed anymore. And look, I'm not asking you to look for solutions to fix it. If you don't want to date black men, then you don't want to date them anymore. That's your prerogative. But let's not get into this atmosphere where this constant war of words. And it's not just war of words, because like many of you have pointed out, in the US, every 5.5 hours, a black woman is killed. Why do you think that happens? Part of the reason why that happens is because of this narrative, because of the perpetuation of this narrative. And I'm just not going to be a part of that. Now, I'm grateful for all the new subscribers that I've gained and the people that support the message, but I'm not about solely divesting. That's not just because I talk about interracial dating, and I'm sorry if I'm getting fired up here, but I'm very passionate about what I talk about, and I know what I'm talking about. If I talk about interracial dating, it doesn't mean that I am promoting a divesting only message. I don't see divesting as, the answer to black women's issues with black men. I see it as...
I don't get why it's an answer if the black woman really likes black men. That's what I don't get. Why use white men because you're having an issue with black men? Like, if you have an issue with black men and you like black men, go stay over there and fix your issue with black men. Find good black men. Now, I understand if you are someone who is a rainbow swirler, that's a different story, because with rainbow swirlers, I think of it as a probability situation, a matter of red marbles and blue marbles, basically. Think of it this way: you have more red marbles than blue marbles. If you're finding a problem with the red marbles and there's only a few red marbles in a bag, you're more likely to find some blue marbles that are actually functioning, and there are actually a lot of blue marbles to choose from. Then obviously you went with the blue marbles. The analogy basically goes with red marbles being black men, blue marbles being white men. And my point is, I don't see anything wrong in that regard. I'm saying people who are not into white men, why the heck do they have to try and go with white men who they don't want? And you really want black men, but you just feel like something messed up with them, so you're just using white men to basically get at black men and to basically make as the cleanup man, and that's what I just don't appreciate. But all in all, you can't expect people who aren't attracted to black men to go with black men. So that's all I have to say there. And I really didn't have anything against what he had to say there. I kind of agreed with him. Continue.
As a possibility. And I've talked about it in the past, not even with the mindset of divesting, but just, hey, black women are attracted to white men and white men are attracted to black women. But a lot of you come from this divesting angle. And yes, I actually have a video planned where I talk about 10 reasons why black women can divest with white men. But that doesn't mean that I want to drive apart black men from black women and vice versa. So I just want to put all these things on the record because I'm sick and tired of having to explain these in every single video. I'm not going to do it. And, if people want to use my platform as a means to exacerbate the situation and to create war among black women.
To me, honestly, that is all dysfunctional anyway. Why would you want to take that into another community? That to me is just a little weird. Like, why would someone want to put the whole war thing onto people of other races? I mean, like, if you've got some kind of issue like that, maybe you should, keep that within your community and try and fix that. This is why, the main people in the gender war idea of things, like Cynthia G and things of that nature, they don't prefer white men, and they're not into white They're not into white men. They don't date white men, you know. They just use the idea of like interracial dating as an idea to basically bother black men, basically. But they don't actually really desire it or have any interest in it. It's just using it as a way to get attention, sort of thing, you know. So I don't really feel the gender wars have much to do with interracial dating. I just think it's a cop out that both sides try to use to get attention from the other side. It's sad. Continue. Almost done.
And black men, then please just leave. Please leave, because that's not what my platform is about, and that's not what I'm about.
So yeah, I didn't really have anything against this video there. I just it's a little weird seeing him talk about things like this to me. I wish someone else would talk about it. Not really comfortable with him talking about it, but other than that, the points made, I didn't have anything against it. Actually, out of all the videos, this was actually one of the videos I felt less uncomfortable with, the least uncomfortable of the 3 videos I've seen. And this is my first reaction to it. I hadn't seen the video before just now. So that's all I have to say on this. Mostly agreed with many of the things he had to say. So yeah, okay video. Um, I'm not subscribed. And I'll give it a like. But yeah, he was all right. So I just think, you know, all in all, I want to say is that I think people shouldn't be so focused on going after black men with these type of things that, you know, they don't even realize how stupid it makes them look at the end of the day. You know, they don't really pay attention to what it's really doing to them because they're so obsessed with black men and getting black men's attention. You know, my main focus isn't black men, you know. My only focus on black men is when people question me on why I'm not attracted to black men and why I wouldn't consider black men for my preference when it comes to dating. I would never date one. That's the only time I talk about black men, but I wouldn't even do that in the presence of white people. You know, it's none of their business why I prefer what I prefer, you know. And most people who are truly into basically, you know, interracial dating and interracial relationships and marriage and so forth, many of the time we're not going to be very vocal to white people about this, you know. If ever anyone was vocal about it, it would be in private, in a certain scenario where, especially when it's involving neither types of individuals, no men for one, and specifically maybe around black women it would be more, but most likely it's going to be in a private situation. You know, you're not going to actually openly say your own interests and things of that nature. There's no point. But the point is, you know, I just don't really think that bashing black men or bashing black women makes anyone look okay, you know, when it comes to other races witnessing it. I think honestly we should more so be ashamed if other people see it, you know, and I kind of get in my protective stance, honestly, when other races are present with these type of situations. Because I know what it comes off as being. And I don't really want to get into that too much here because I'll get into a bit of a tangent. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and have a great day, guys. Bye. Comment down below if you want, please.